Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of High Energy Girl. And today's awesome guest is Ronni. Now, Ronni, after using the QT Wave device, has experienced so many amazing benefits, from a sense of calmness to being able to sleep without her sleeping meds. Her flaky skin is gone. Her gray hairs are disappearing. Her natural red hair is coming out. Her vision has improved. Her varicose veins are going away, and so is her shoulder pain. So exciting. So let's go and say hello to Ronni. Hey everyone, welcome to High Energy Girl, a podcast helping women to age stronger because it is never too late to get fit, be strong, and feel sexy. I'm your host, Tracy Gluhige, health coach and personal trainer and founder of highenergygirl.com. Each week, we will either have a guest interview, which will provide you encouragement or an actionable tip to help you age stronger, or I will do a solo episode. Please also join our awesome Facebook group called High Energy Girls, and I'm looking forward to see you on the inside of that group and hope you enjoy today's show. Hey Ronni, thanks so much for coming to spend some time with me today.
Oh, thanks for inviting me. I'm so excited to be here with you, Tracy.
Oh, you're so sweet. I am so excited to hear your story. So can you start off by telling the listeners a little bit about how you were feeling prior to coming to QHS?
Well, January 20th of 21, I had a horrific fall at work. We kind of like bombarded into each other. I was going in the restroom. She was coming out of the restroom. I tripped over her foot. I landed on like a hard, not like concrete, but like a granite counter in the bathroom, hit my shoulder, broke it in 3 places, dislocated my humerus, hit my head, and went flat down on the floor. That was 2.5 years ago. And I haven't been able to go back to work since.
Wow, that is so scary.
Yes, it was one of the worst pains I've ever experienced in my life. It was pretty scary. So
that's a lot of injury. And I'm sure she felt so horrible.
right,
The
yeah.
trauma. Wow. So what was the ramifications of that?
The ramifications were that the humerus bone had crimped the main artery in my right arm, and I am right hand dependent. And they didn't know if it had actually just pinched it or if it punctured it. So I was immediately taken as an emergency trauma by ambulance from work to a hospital. And because they were afraid to move my arm for fear that if it had punctured, I would bleed out since it was the main artery. I remained like that for almost 8 hours before they were able to do a procedure. And after a lot of x-rays to decide that, okay, we don't think it's punctured. We think it's just, you like laying on it, but not puncturing it. And so they did a procedure to lift the bone off of it because that whole 8 hours, I had no blood flow to my hand. And the injury of that was having nerve damage and a lot of shaking in my right hand, making it hard for me to do, well, in the beginning, anything. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't put on my clothes. It was hard to go to the bathroom. I had to try to brush your teeth left-handed. You would think that wouldn't be a big deal, but it's very hard. Like, I never would have thought that. So I did have to relearn like a lot of new things. And through 2 years of therapy, until workers' comp said, that's it, we're not going to help you anymore. Basically, right now I'm waiting for an appointment with a neurologist for one last attempt at the nerve damage in my hand. That's taken them about a year. And in fact, I just got a call this morning saying that they did a tentative approval for that visit. So, and then I'm just done with them. I guess, I've gotten further off of my device than I have off of 2.5 years with workers' comp.
Wow, well, that's good news.
Yes, I wish I would have heard about it sooner.
So when did you get your device?
I just got it April 29th. So it's really just like, I think I figured out it was like 91 days today.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I can't believe how much has happened in just 3 short months. And a lot of it happened like in the first, like maybe 45, 50 days. But then just when you think, okay, maybe things are happening behind the scenes, then I had more stuff start happening. So it's been pretty exciting last week. So,
Well, I have chills. I want to hear all the juicy details.
well, of course, I can start with all the regular things that everyone else is saying, a much more sense of calmness. I could go to sleep without taking Z-Quil because they took me off my pain pills a long time ago so that I could detox off of those. And it was very hard for me to sleep with the pain. So I started taking these Z-Quil pills. And they're not a prescription, they're just over the counter. And that was the only way I could go to sleep at night for maybe to get 3 good hours at a time. And I don't even take those anymore at all. I go to sleep, my device is in my pillowcase, and I'm out. And I only get up if I have to go to the restroom. Otherwise, I'm good for at least 6, 7 hours. It's a good sleep. It's a really good sleep.
And
Yeah,
that heals. That helps heal. So
absolutely. Good. Yeah. So there's a lot of things after that that started happening that I would notice, like the gray hairs. I think that was like 30 days or less that I noticed the gray hairs. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what else is doing? I'm driving my car and I noticed that the crepey skin on my arm here that used to be full of crepey skin. And I think it's got worse because of my injury and not being able to move around and as much and stuff. And it's like 90% gone. Like
cool.
I'm driving in my car going, whoa, what was that? Like, whoa, look, can you see this? I'm like, quick, red light. so I can look at my arm because I was so excited to see that was, and they just talked about it that night on one of the Zooms. Someone was waiting for their crepey skin to disappear. And I'm like, yay.
That's one of the cool things about the twine call is the power of suggestion, right? Like people will say something about crepey skin and you're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like it makes you increases awareness. I think
exactly.
That's cool. So tell me about the gray hair. You kind of like glossed over that.
Well, the gray hair was, I have to use like a 10 times magnifying glass so I can get close when I look at my eyebrows, because the shaking of my hand, it's like a big process to do that. So therefore, I'm looking at my face way too large. And I happened to be pulling my hair back and I went, wait, what? And so I started like pulling it this way. And I'm like, wait, pull it down. Where are those gray hairs? And I'm like, oh my Lord, the device got rid of them. And I was just like screaming for joy in my bathroom. My husband's like, what? And I'm like, my gray hairs, like, they're gone. He's like thinking I plucked them all out or something, I'm like, no, the device took them. And even like, I can't see in the back of my head, but I knew there were some. And my hairdresser confirmed when I got my hair cut a couple of weeks ago, she goes, I can hardly find any. She said, they're like so few and far between. And that's awesome. I'm sure from sleeping with it in my pillowcase.
That makes sense.
And people have commented that they see outside, they see more red in my hair of my natural color, of a shinier red in my hair. So I'm assuming it's making my hair healthier because I haven't changed anything from what I've done. It's nice when you see people you haven't seen in a while and they can make comments to you. I saw a friend the other day that I hadn't seen since before I got the device. And she says, your skin looks so healthy. She goes like, and you look like you lost weight. I said, actually, I didn't lose any weight, but I think my body morphed. It like changed somehow. I said, and she said, I don't see as much drooping in your face. I have Bell's palsy that I got when my son was born 36 years ago. And it causes a lot of times, like I have still some drooping on the right side, but she noticed a big difference in our conversation one-on-one because, I've known her for like almost 50 years. And she goes, no, you're Bell's palsy. She goes, what are you doing? And I said, let me tell you about this little device. And I tapped on it because I was wearing the binder under my dress. I said, let me tell you about this. So she was all excited. She can't wait till registration opens up because she wants to be a part of this wonderful thing also. So I had looked in the mirror about a week before then, and I thought, can I get a better smile? I'm like, because sometimes when I smile, it like this side droops really bad. And it's really hard to take pictures and stuff. And I'm so excited now because neither one of my kids got married yet, and it'll be fixed before they do and have wedding pictures. So I was always worried, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to ruin your wedding pictures. You know, because in a picture, for some reason, it flips it even worse than it does face to face. I don't know why. It's something weird with Bell's palsy, I guess. But that was another pretty exciting thing that just happened to me
Gosh, that's
recently.
huge.
Yeah. Went to the eye doctor to get new glasses because I thought, boy, my eyes must be getting bad, because like I put on my glasses and to look at my emails. I don't need my glasses to see my emails, but I'm looking at the TV thinking, what is that print? Why do I need them for far away? I had cataract surgery about 20 years ago, maybe. It's a hereditary fast growing cataract that me and my sister both got. And so I had both lens implants done to my eyes. And so they make one nearsighted, one farsighted. And the doctor says to me, your far vision has improved like 3 markers. He said, didn't you have cataract surgery? I said, yes. And he goes, well, that doesn't happen. So he's checking my eyes again, everything. He goes, no. He goes, like, you have, a little bit of change in your near vision, but, you can still wear your glasses for like your computer work. He said, but no, your far vision has changed 3 whole markers. He says, I've never heard of that before. He says, I'm not sure what happened. I said, I am. It's called frequencies. And he goes, frequencies? I said, yes, you should look them up. I said, because they're the new technique for healing. I said, and I'm swearing by them. He says, well, whatever you're doing, keep doing.
That's awesome, Ronni.
Yeah.
So that's actually kind of frightening with the lenses, because if it changes that much, it's not like they're going to go in and do a new surgery.
No,
Thank goodness
they
for
can
QR.
do, yeah, if it gets bad, they get like kind of a glossy over them, and they can do a laser thing to make the vision better. But mine are getting better without anything happening, because the lens implant shouldn't get better. It's actually put in there almost a 20/20 for near and far, one in near and one far. So I don't normally have to wear glasses. And I think that the reason I had to start wearing them since the accident was because the trauma of hitting my head here. And then more so after I got wasn't even thinking it had anything to do with the device at all. When I went to go get my eyes checked, until he said that. He goes, your glasses are too strong for you. I'm like,
Wow.
whoa, okay.
That's
I'll go
fun.
for that. Yeah, so that was a pretty exciting thing to have happen. Let's see. I broke a tooth before I got the device. It was actually a tooth that was crowned, and because I had to have a Tootsie Roll. I just had to. And I thought I was being careful, and apparently I wasn't. And I bit down wrong, and I broke it. And my first thought was, oh my gosh, because I do have a bottom partial on one side, and it hooks to that tooth. I'm thinking, uh-oh, what if it doesn't hook now? I'll have to get one of those implants. I'm like, I don't want one of those implants. Like, I don't want to go through all that pain and everything. I'm like, well, what choice am I going to have, right? And on medical alternatives on Telegram, everyone was saying use hydrogen peroxide for the pain. So I was like soaking Q-tips in hydrogen peroxide for my tooth, took away the pain, never had to take pain pills for it. It was awesome. But then I noticed that it had little sharp edges. So I was like cutting like the inside of my mouth, and I'm like, oh, this isn't going to work, right? I'm going to have to do something. And I don't know if I was saying that right before I got the device or right after I got the device, but next thing I know, I don't have any sharp edges. And I told my husband, did I swallow them? I think I would know that if I swallowed them, right? I'm really careful about eating over there because I didn't want to break off the rest of what was there. Well, when I looked in the mirror, half of that tooth is gone, and it's like a hole as if the tooth was pulled.
Wow.
And it's leaving the inside part, which I was thankful for, because I can still hook my bridge. because it left the inside part, but I only have two little pokey pieces of the tooth, like facing the inside of my mouth, not the outside where it gets my cheek.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, so I have to claim the device on that one because I don't think things like that just go away. And it was like a diseased tooth, right? And it looks for
Yeah,
disease and it looks for things that aren't right.
right.
So it only made sense that it's the one who gets the credit.
That's cool. I love
Absolutely.
it.
I know I'm giving it so much credit. People think I'm crazy lately. Let's see. After that, I had two other big things happen to me. My husband and I went out to lunch, and because of my bad hand, I can't like push to get out of a booth or anything. I have to like turn my body, use my left hand, and push up with the table or something. On this particular day, I scooted over, pushed up, got out of the booth, and realized I had used this part of my bad hand to not only push, but scoot to get out. And I had not 1 ounce of pain. Not one.
Wow. So it's like waking it up or something, or helping
I
a
don't know
nerve.
what it's doing. I haven't done that since. I haven't been in a restaurant, but I'm ready to go and try again just to see if it works, because normally I would have thought that would have sent me screaming or to the ground, because it doesn't let my wrist bend that way. It doesn't, I don't have full range of motion for my hand or anything. So when I did that, and I stopped there, my husband's like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I just got out of the booth by myself with my bad hand." He's like, "What do you mean?" And I told him. He's like, "Wow." And we're both standing there in the restaurant like, "Wow." And I'm just like, it's the device, for whatever it was, taking that away in the top of my hand. At first I thought, oh my God, did my whole hand go numb? And that's why I didn't feel it. So I'm like on my hand, like, no, I can feel my hand. Everything's okay there. I tried to see what could have happened. And then it all led right back to the device.
That's amazing. Is your husband a member, or does he think you're a
He
nut?
is a member. He's one of those that's been patiently waiting since right after me. He got in right just before the 1st of May, but he did get his tracking number yesterday. So he's very excited. But just sleeping in the same bed, he has a lot of dark hairs in his gray. I mean, noticeable dark hairs. Who would think
that's
that?
cool.
Who would think? He's not, it's not under his pillow, it's under my pillow. But
That's
his
great.
hair is picking up the stuff from that. And he does feel like he has some better balance, because he broke his femur several years ago, and he's been having a hard time with balance over the last year and going through therapy. And he's walking more times without his cane than with his cane.
Oh, cool. So
So we're
improving.
really excited to get his device, to snap it on him, to see what it can do. If it's doing that and I have it and he's just next to me, like, can you imagine? I said, it's going to be like some of these, like, I can't remember the guy's name with his wife, that he said like within 3 hours he could raise his arm. He wasn't in pain after he got the device. And I'm just like, like, people hear those stories and they're like, those are crazy stories. And then it happens to you. And you're like, yeah, those are really crazy stories. They're like so fun and exciting. So we're excited for him to get his, for sure. So
well, I'm glad he got his tracking number. That means it's coming in a few days. So mine's going to be here on Monday.
They printed the label. They printed the label for it last night. So I'm assuming that it was picked up this morning. And we'll probably get more information on it later today. I was trying to remember how long mine took to get here, because I think mine came pretty fast, because I got in, I think, at the beginning of the Loved Ones Society rush, and I got in before the big backlog. And I don't even think it was maybe a week I got mine. It was pretty fast. I was surprised. I was expecting it to take longer. And when it came, I'm like, oh, it's that. And I'm like, oh, it's here. Yeah, all kinds of exciting things happen then.
So I'm excited to hear about your veins.
Oh yes, I have I used to wear high heels a lot to work. I didn't wear nylons. I didn't wear support hose. And one of my last jobs was a lot of up and down cement stairs within the building. And so I noticed that I got a lot of those broken little veins along my feet, along the side of my ankle and everything. And then since my accident, they were like so dark. It almost looks like something was spilled on my foot. They had gotten so dark. And even like one, like down the front of my toe, I had this one big line that was dark, almost looked like I had a make-believe sandal on, the middle of my foot. And that was one of the things I noticed. And again, because of the Zoom call, I didn't even look back down at him until someone mentioned it. I'm like, wait a minute, turn the lights up, let me look. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're lighter. They're getting lighter. They haven't gone away, but they're getting lighter, noticeably lighter. And like the ones that I have on my legs, that I used to have some that were so dark that I didn't even want to wear my capri pants anymore. And now they're light enough. I'm like, I'm putting them on. I'm putting them on. I'm going to rock those new veins. That was pretty
is
exciting.
Awesome.
Yes. What else happened with the two big thing happened yesterday and today. Yesterday, we were at the mall. I was started having really bad pain, like in my back shoulder blade. And I thought, oh, now what is this shoulder doing, right? And it wouldn't go away and it wouldn't go away. And we got home, I'm putting the device between me and the couch and I'm like, wow, why isn't it helping this pain? Like, what the heck's going on? And after a couple hours, I start thinking, oh, something's happening. My husband's like, what do you mean something's happening? I said, something good must be happening. This is like, because a couple times I've laid down in bed and got really sick at night. And I like, especially when he did that last upgrade, I got really sick in bed from that one, just like so nauseous. But so whenever anything happens, I look at it as a good sign that something's happening, right? So I finally fell asleep, woke up this morning, and first thing I thought was, okay, I don't feel the pain, maybe a tiny twinge, if I have to think about it. And I said, let's try something. So I took my arm and I stretched both arms back in my bed. It's easier to make this arm go back if I'm lying down. I guess it's just a gravity thing, because it's been my goal for 2.5 years to reach both arms back and touch my headboard. And I never could touch it with this hand until this morning. Oh, I'm almost going to cry. I'm so excited. Yes, it was so exciting. And I'm like, okay, do it again. Let's see, make sure it's not a fluke. So I reach my hands back and I grab onto it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so, so exciting, right? And my husband's sleeping. He hasn't a clue what's going on. And he doesn't hear me because he wears hearing aids. So he doesn't hear the talk that I'm doing, right? So I get out of bed and I come out here and I'm messing with the cats and I sit down and I go to pick up my phone and I'm like, my hand doesn't feel as stiff. And this baby finger like this, as of yesterday, it never bent more than that.
Wow.
And now
so
it
it's
bends
like
down.
All of these repairs from your fall.
It's like, yes, because I got really bad arthritis in my hands after the fall. They said that was common, to get that. And I would have a lot of swelling in my fingers and stuff. And like, I can make a total fist over here, but I can't here. But this finger still crosses over here a little bit, but this one wouldn't even close because it was so swollen and hurt so bad. The inside hurt. The outside here is like numb, but the inside of the finger hurt. I don't know if that's from having something to do with the nerve damage or what. All I know is that I could not close it like this yesterday. And today I can. So I keep doing it. Yep. Still closing.
Yeah, motion is lotion for the joints. So we want to keep moving,
Especially when you see something change. I have like resistant bands and I have a pulley over my front door. None of them did what this device has done. They used to do those tins on me at therapy, those tins where they hook up little pads to your hand and plug it into a like electric thing and to try to make little shocks.
Yeah.
That did nothing.
Wow.
This device, yes. I cannot wait to get to the QR to see what is going to happen.
Well, and that's my next question is pretty soon, we get to go into the QR and have a healthy 30-year-old body. everything working properly, but with wisdom and experience. What excites you about that, Ronni?
Well, I love the fact that I'll be younger and know what I know now. That's just an exciting thought. But I'm very excited to know what it's like again to not have any pain and to be able to move freely, to get started with the humanitarian projects, of which one I'm really hoping I get to do a QHS center. We have a perfect spot of property where they just leveled a old building off out here. And I haven't seen a sign go up yet. So I'm going to call the city and ask them if they're selling it or somebody already bought it or what, thinking of things. And then I'm most excited to dance with my husband at the gala, because we love to dance and we haven't been able to do that in a lot of years. So I'm excited for that.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. That's going to be beautiful.
Yes. I think we're all going to be dancing with each other. We're just going to be going crazy.
Big party. I agree. My husband doesn't dance, so I just kind of go do my own thing.
Well, I don't know. He might want to dance. Will he be coming with you, or he's going to go after?
Well, the gala is not going to be for 6 months.
Right.
So he'll go sure with me. But as far as the QR, yeah, he's going to come. I'm waiting to see the date because of his work, so it's kind of like, it's going to be helpful when we know the dates exactly. But yeah, no, sure. He's coming. So yeah. He's not going to want to be left behind. That FOMO, right?
Yes.
No way. Have his wife be like young looking and him like being old looking. No way.
I'm already 14 years younger than my husband, but he's aged very well anyways. So he's lucky that way. But I said, now you've known the 30-year-old me, but I didn't know the 30-year-old you. He was 39 when I met him. So I didn't know the 30-year-old him. So I said, that'll be kind of exciting. Like when we look at pictures and we're like, is your hair going to do that? It's like, we don't know. I can't wait to see Dr. Alfredo start off the party here and see how he does.
Oh, I know. It's going to be fun. And we're going to all be able to see that before we go. So, well, Ronni,
that's good.
Yeah, it's really good. And his wife, and hopefully Ron and Wade. And, that's what I'm hoping.
Right.
So, well, my darling, I just want to thank you. Your story is massive. And I am so excited to get this out there for the members to hear.
Thank you. I'm pretty excited to tell it. When I was putting everything down, I was doing like a voice text because I can't write that much still. And I was like, wow, see, there's even more than I thought when you start thinking about it. People just need to start thinking about all their changes and write them down, and they'll be amazed in 90 days what happened.
That is awesome. And I can't wait to see more. So will you come back and do a part 2 post QR?
Absolutely. Oh, I'm so excited. I want my teeth fixed in the QR so I don't have to worry about these partials anymore. And I won't have Bell's palsy, and my hand will be writing like crazy like it used to. And absolutely. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Look forward to it. Well, thank you for coming and hanging out with me. And I look forward to seeing you next time.
Absolutely. You take care.
You too, Ronni. Have a beautiful day. Okay, wasn't that awesome? You guys, this QT Wave can help with so many amazing things. And you can check out the website. Membership is going to be opening again very, very soon, but you can check it out at quantumhealingsystems.org. And also the YouTube channel is QHS-QHS. Thank you so much for listening, and make it a great day. This podcast contains the opinion and thoughts of its host and guests. It is intended to provide helpful and informative material on the subjects covered. All statements made on the podcast have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. If the listener requires professional assistance or advice, please contact your personal medical doctor. Both host and guest specifically disclaim any responsibility for any liability, loss, or risk, personal or otherwise, which is incurred as a consequence directly or indirectly of the use and application of any of the contents of these episodes. Like I said, this is my opinion and I could be wrong.